All praise to the Most High, Yahawah, Bahashim, Yahawahshi, Baruch. You know, welcome to another episode of Spiritual Insight, K.O.Y, Israelites. Welcome to Two True Judah. All right, out here holding it down in California, letting blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans know that we are the Israelites in the Bible. All right, and if you're not keeping the statute, laws, commandments, and you hate the truth, then you're gonna be put to death according to the Bible. All right, we ain't like your pastor, churches, or nothing. So we giving you guys plethora of breakdowns for you tonight. All right, so we finna upload this and make this word go out, and we also gonna have a little a read along. All right, I don't know if y'all see this, right? This is the Willie Lynch letters, right? We're gonna be breaking this down a little bit, and we're gonna be going over Matthew's 13, 24 through 30. We're gonna be breaking that down as well. All right, the wheat versus the tares, right? All of Israel's not Israel. All right, even if you from the same bloodline, if you're not in this truth, right? You not Israel. You a 2/3. You a peon. All right, we gonna keep it real. You a peon. All right, so we talking about some real facts, man. We do this work every day, day and night. We study to show ourselves approved. All right, we let the brothers and sisters know who they are. But it's up to you to get this knowledge, right? So this is Spiritual Insight. We rebooting this episode. We're rebooting this show because on the last channel they took down on all the videos that we made, right? We can't get the videos back, but hey, that's the Most High's will. So what we're doing, we're making new episodes, right? And we just trying to put this work out, right? So this is Matthew 13 and 24, because we're gonna break down the wheat versus the tares, right? The wheat are the children of the Most High, and the tares grow in looking like and acting like the children of the Most High, right? It's hard to tell the wheats and the tares apart, right? So this is Matthew 13, verse 24. Another parable put the forth unto them, saying, the kingdom of heaven is likened unto a man which sowed good seed in his field. So it says kingdom of heaven is likened to a man that sowed good seed in his field, right? But while men sleep, his enemy came and sowed tares among the wheat and went his way. So who's that man, that evil man that will go into another man's field, right, and sabotage it? That would be the damn white man, right? The damn Edomite, the devil that the Bible speak of, right? But when the blade was sprung up and brought forth fruit, then appeared the tares also. So you got to understand, when it's time to harvest, the tares going to pop up the same time as the wheat going to pop up. So you got to understand that. So when we was in slavery, you know how many so-called Caucasian Edomites was raping our women? All right, and they came out, the babies came out looking like us. Generations and generations and generations passed later, they looking like us. They blended in our community. A lot of them is the one that's sabotaging the hood and killing things, joining the police forces, right? They can't get common grounds with their own brother. You don't, certain brothers you can't relate to, right? Then it says, so the servants of the household came, salachya, I'm on 26 now. But when the blade was sprung up and brought forth fruit, then appeared the tares also. So the servants of the household holder came and said unto him, Sir, didst not thou sow good seed in thy field? From whence then hath it tares? So then it says, and that's the householder. He's asking the person that sowed the seed. So then you sow good seeds in on your land. Why is it tares on the land now? Because they're not aware that the evil man came in while the brother was asleep and sabotaged the land, right? And that's what they used to do in the South, right? They used to spoil the soil. They used to spoil the soil, right? Where the crop would go bad, right? So it says, and he said unto an enemy hath done this. The servant said unto him, wilt thou then that we go and gather them up? So the brother was sharp. He said, man, an enemy done this, man. I didn't do this. I planted good seed, right? Let both grow together into the harvest, and in the time of the harvest, I will say unto the reapers, gather ye together first the tares, and bind them in bundles to burn them, but gather the wheat into my barn. Right? So the Most High, he's smooth with it. The Most High know what's his and what's not. He sent his servants to decipher what's his and what's not. Right? So in the end times, the tares gonna get gathered together away from the wheat to get burnt up, while the wheat, which is our people, right, gonna be in the Most High's born house. Right? We're gonna be protected. We're gonna be good. Right? If you're keeping the statute, laws, commandments. If you're a wicked brother, a wicked Israelite, you're going to be with the damn tares. You're a tear. So you better repent from your wickedness, right? And exercise that righteousness until you're fit to make it into the kingdom of heaven for salvation, right? Like, we're gonna bring that out. We got more scriptures on this, man. Like, for real. We're going to Leviticus 15 and 31, right? Leviticus 15 and 31. Y'all make sure y'all get that. All right, Leviticus 15 and 31. Right? Y'all got that? It says, thus shall ye separate the children of Israel from their uncleanness, that they died not in their uncleanness. Then they defile my tabernacles that is among them. All right, so it's important that you separate yourself from the wicked of the world, right? Right? It's important that you separate yourself from the wicked of the world. Yeah, you're going to have family members that's in the wicked lifestyle, but you don't join them within that wicked lifestyle. If they invite you over to Christmas, kindly reject it, right? Thanksgiving, kindly reject it. New Year's, kindly reject it. A birthday party, kindly reject it, right? A baby shower, kindly reject it, right? Be ye separate, right? And get in this word. Right? When you get in this, hey, look, bro, if you get into this word, right, your mind and your spirit gonna automatically reject the wickedness already, right? You're gonna be a holy creature, right? Then it says, when they defile my tabernacles, that is among them. So the Most High, look, when you unclean, you will defile the tabernacles around you, right? The Most High, he wants you to be set apart. What is a great word to be set apart? What word would you use? It would be holy, right? To be holy, right? So this is Numbers 16 and 21. It says, separate yourself from among the congregation that I may consume them in a moment, right? So sometimes the Most High wants you to separate yourself amongst the evildoers, right? So just so the Most High can consume them and you won't be consumed with them, right? This is Jeremiah 12 and 13, man. It's another one. We got a lot of fire for you. Put this around your precepts, right? Because remember, we brought out Matthew's 15, right? We brought out Matthew's 15 and 24 through 30, right? Then gave you Leviticus 15 and 31. Y'all, hey, rewind. Play this again. Leviticus 15 and 31. It gave you that. Right? Then it gave you Numbers 16 and 21. Right? Now we're on Jeremiah 12 and 13. This is Jeremiah 12 and 13. Man, this is the wheat and the tares breakdown, right? Separating yourself and being holy, right? Wheat versus the tares and separating yourself and being holy. This is what spiritual insight is about, right? You know, for this episode, right? So we're going to talk about it. This is Jeremiah 12 and 13. They have sown wheat, but shall reap thorns. They have put themselves to pain, but shall not profit. And they shall be ashamed of your revenue because of the fierce anger of the Most High. So you got to understand, our enemies, they sown, tares amongst the wheat, right? But they're only going to experience thorns and pain and fire, right? That's all they're going to experience. And then the anger of the Most High is going to be kindled against them, right? They're going to get torched, right? The Most High going to send us ballistic nuclear missiles, right, to hit their asses. They got laser beams from satellites to hit that ass, right? A lot of those fires in the past, some of them was natural fires that the Most High created. But a lot of them also, they got evidence that things that was tampered with by beams, right? Hidden things, right? Right? So the Most High's anger gonna come in beams and fire as well. He gonna burn out all of America, right? For all the destruction that they have done to the blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans, right? The tares been planted amongst the wheats. So now you niggas, your simple ass peons is finna celebrate damn Easter, right? A damn pagan holiday, right? Easter is symbolic for the fertility so-called goddess, right? A damn lust demon, right? Man, when are y'all gonna get that right? Y'all say y'all love the Most High, y'all love the information, y'all love knowledge, but y'all shaking your asses at the club. You eating pork and shrimp and lobster, right? You shaking your asses at the club. You eating pork, shrimp, and lobster. You killing each other in the streets, right? You don't come to Shabbat days. You don't study. You looking like you part of the terror society, right? Y'all with that bullshit, right? I'ma keep it real. If y'all the weak, y'all better repent and come clean. Y'all better start coming to Shabbat days. All right? If you're a brother, you should hit the street corners with us. If you're a brother, you should hit the street corners with us, right? Letting your brothers and sisters know that you in Israel, keeping the statute, laws, and commandments. You got to wash that blood off your hands, man. You got to wash that blood off your hands, man. Like real talk. Especially if you come from them streets, you feel me? And you did dirt, you better wash that blood off your hand. And how do you do that? By keeping the statute, laws, commandments, having assembly with your brother, and putting the work in and being humble, where you can take correction, you can study, you can show you can show up to class, right, and learn something. We have class every Thursday at 8 p.m. Right? It's a lot of brothers, I speak to, right? Y'all got my information. You got my number. Y'all make sure y'all better hit my line up, man. Like real talk. Y'all don't want to be left behind and be a tear, be wrapped into a damn bundle and be burnt off, right? When them ICM nuclear missiles hit, bruh, you gonna get them burnt up, bruh. You gonna be like burnt toast, and you can't scrape that shit, man. You gonna be like powder, man. Y'all tripping, right? So we're gonna go to 1 Kings 8 and 53. 1 Kings 8 and verse 53. It says, "For thou didst separate them from among all the people of the earth to be thy inheritance, as thou speakest by the land of Moses." It's like by the hand of Moses, because the Most High spoke through the hand of Moses, right? They'd be like, oh, the Bible is man-made, right? The man wrote the Bible, but how did the Most High speak? Through the hand of Moses, right? When he was making the tablets of stone, right? Who made those laws? Thy servant, right? By the hand of Moses thy servant, when thou broughtest out our fathers out of Egypt, or Adawan, right? Or Adawan Alahaim, right? So who brought us out of Egypt, right? It was the Most High. The Most High brought us out of Egypt, right? Why don't y'all never want to admit that? Or do you understand that, right? We're not Egyptians. We was enslaved by the Egyptian Empire, and the Most High he felt pity and mercy upon our people, and he freed us and killed the Egyptians for us. Yeah, he did that, right? So we're gonna keep it real. We're gonna know what type of brother you is by your works and your actions, right? If your work is bullshit, you ain't putting the work in, you feel me? Man, you a tear, man. Man, get out of here, bro. You a 2/3. Like, real talk. If you ain't studying, you ain't keeping the feast days, the holy days, right? You're not even trying, right? The Most High is gonna destroy you, right? You're a nobody, because you gotta have that faith in them works, right? So go to Luke 16 and 10. Luke 16 and verse 10, right? Luke 16 and 10. It says, he that is faithful in that which is least is faithful also in much, and he that is unjust in the least is unjust also in much, right? So if you faithful, it's like if you unfaithful while there's least, like, for example, K.O.Y wasn't always a lot of brothers in K.O.Y, but the ones who was faithful as the ones that's faithful, and where it was at a small fragment of a camp, they're gonna be faithful when it's a big camp, right? But if they was unfaithful when it was a small camp, right? We still a young camp. We still, we're not a big camp yet, but we grew in size, right? So the ones who's faithful right now are gonna be faithful later on. The ones who's not gonna be faithful in this work, right? They're not gonna be faithful if the Most High allow it to be a big camp, right? Or because if you put in this work in, you're gonna do it regardless if it's little or small. The Most High, he's the Most High. You supposed to fear him, unless you got other reasons why you're not doing it, right? Or why you're doing it. You got motives, right? This is Proverbs 28 and 20. Make sure y'all get Proverbs 28 and 20, right? Because we talking about the faith in the works right now, all right? All right, we talking about faith in works, right? Because we're just talking about the wheat and the tare. Now we're talking about the faith in the works. This is Proverbs 28 and 20. A faithful man shall abound with blessings, but he that maketh haste to be rich shall not be innocent. So a faithful man, right? He's gonna abound in blessings, right? He's not gonna sell out, right? He's not gonna BS. He's not gonna treat the Most High like it's like this is a hobby or charity work. He's gonna put this work first. But the brother he's ready to get rich and not put the work in and just get the money and all that, right? He's facing destruction. He's not gonna get into the kingdom of heaven, right? He's not gonna make it, bro. Like, let's be real, right? Like right now, I just woke up. You feel me? And I'm giving you this knowledge and this information, right? Long day and everything, right? Then it says, and now go to 2 Corinthians 5 and 7, right? Y'all make sure y'all write these precepts down, right? Write it down, right? This 2 Corinthians 5 and 7, for we walk by faith, not by sight. So when you walk by faith, what are you going to do? Right? You're going to put the work in. I can't stand when I run across brothers who always talking about brothers who's putting the work in, who done way more work than you, right? And you talking shit about a brother when you haven't really put no work in, right? I don't care how much knowledge you have, how many precepts you know. If you talking shit about a brother who put work in, you feel me? Hey, that says something about your faith. That says something about your stance and its truth. You're not really solid. You don't really love the Most High like that. You have hatred towards your brother, right? You supposed to make sure you put this work in, right? And then you will see where most oxium is coming from, right? When you're experiencing putting the work in, right? A lot of brothers are like, oh, I don't like your approach. You don't know why we got to approach certain people the way we do when we out in these highways and the byways, right? The Most High don't want you to be all quiet and soft-spoken, right? When people start talking like that, they haven't put the work in. When they start hitting those camps, you feel me? They hate the work. They have the faith, but they hate the work, right? That's like mind-boggling to me, right? That's like, man, like, how you gonna hate on the next man literally working, right? Like, we pushing spiritual bricks, right? We going to the highways and the byways, right? And we flipping each product that we receive, right? We flipping them coins, flipping them talents, y'all. Like you can't respect nobody hustle, man. Who just sit on their ass and have an opinion, right? That's it. Like why are you there, bruh? The Most High is gonna destroy your wicked ass, bruh. Like, you know how many brothers we walk, man? How many brothers we come across, or even myself, I came across, and brothers always got something to say about the approach, right? Why you gotta be on the streets, teaching other men who they are, right? But you don't hear the other nations complaining about that. There's a lot of it's a lot of sensitized, all right, sissified, sensitive as niggas out there, right? Like, real talk, we're gonna talk about that. These niggas is not worth shit, right? These jakes ain't worth shit because they sold out their entire birthright, right? And they hate this truth. That's why a lot of y'all 2/3. Like, real talk. And it's crazy. Hey, it's mind-boggling to me, man. I'm just saying, you feel me? I always recognize real, you feel me? When I recognize real, you feel me, I'm going to stand on something, you feel me? A lot of y'all don't stand by shit, you feel me? So this is Hebrews 12:2. Fixing our eyes on Yahawahshi, the author and perfecter of faith, right? Y'all need Yahawahshi in your life, because he's the author and the perfecter of faith. That shows when y'all don't put that work in, y'all don't have Yahawahshi in your life. Y'all don't even accept him, right? Who for the joy set before him endured the cross. So he endured the cross. What have you endured for you not to want to put that work in? Because a lot of y'all half the time have reasons why y'all don't want to do the work. Oh, my wife gonna get mad at me. My girl gonna get mad at me. All right. I need to spend more times with my kids. Right. I need to make some money out of my job. You know, the Most High will make you lose your job, your wife, your kids. Right. If you're not putting this work out, he put sicknesses and curses out on them. You feel me? And he probably gets you blacklisted on companies where you can't get a fucking job. Right? We got to understand that, man. And even if you do get a job, you feel me? Something can go wrong with your damn check before rent date. You feel me? Like, real talk, the Most High can make things happen, stranger things happen. You feel me? Believe me. You feel me? He can make stranger things happen, right? I experience a lot of shit. You feel me? When I'm being wicked, you feel me? The Most High punishing me, I feel it. I'm like, man, this is a judgment from the Most High. This is a judgment from the Most High. You know? I don't need to ask why. I know it's a judgment. You feel me? Or it's a test. You feel me? Because the Most High also tests us. Or he tests our endurance. You feel me? Like, man, we're going to keep it real, bro. Like, I can't play that make-believe imaginary bullshit. You feel me? Like, real talk. Sometimes you got to, like, you know, analyze everything and see it for what it is, right? Like, real talk. it says, the author and perfecter of faith, who for the joy set before him endured the cross, despising the shame, and has sat down at the right hand of the throne of the Most High. Right? So Yahawahshi sits on the right hand of the throne of the Most High. Right? So you gotta understand, these Christian pastors, they only have faith. They don't have the real work. Right? They don't have the juice. You feel me? They only have the faith, right? But they don't have the work. Remember, faith without works is dead. They're supposed to go hand in hand, right? So their faith sometimes they only speak about it. So that's where the faith come in. Their faith come in at, right? But our faith is different. Our faith is given by Yahawahshi because it contributes into working, right? It contributes into you lifting that brick, right? And putting the soil and lifting the brick and putting the soil, lifting the brick and slapping the soil, you feel me, on top of each other, right? You're going to get the knowledge and the know-how. You're going to get the tools, the edification skills to teach it, and more people going to start building the brick and lifting the soil, right? And start building a wall before you know it, right? Like, real talk. I can't stand when, you know, somebody's complaining about this truth, right? And then a lot of y'all are tricked by these damn pastors. That's what it is. Y'all get tricked by the damn pastors, right? Where y'all try to find excuses not to put the work in, right? That's why you never hear about Yahawahshi being in the Old Testament, right? And we're gonna talk about that too, right? This is Galatians 1:18. He is also head of the body, the church, and he is the beginning, the firstborn from the dead, so that he himself will come to have first place in everything. Let's talk about Yahawahshi, right? Once you believe in Yahawahshi, you establish the faith. Now you're gonna put the work in, and now you're going to be like Yahawahshi, right? And honor him and love your brothers and your sisters, right? Like, we gotta understand how America operates against our people. We're hated in Yahawah we're hated by the other nations because Yahawahshi's namesake, right? Yahawahshi is our people. He's a so-called black man and Negro. He's a God, bruh. He's a God. So don't that make us gods too? Do y'all understand the words coming out my mouth? You feel me? Let's talk about this, bruh. Because it's like, these pastors is there to deceive us. They don't, like I said, they don't even tell you that Christ is in the Old Testament. You hear about Christ, from them in the New Testament, right? But we're going to read the New Testament and tell you that he's still in the Old Testament, right? Watch this. This is John 1:1. In the beginning was the Word. So who's the Word? It's Yahawahshi, right? So it was in the beginning. And the Word was with God, Salachya, Elohim. The Word was with Elohim, right? And the Word was Elohim, right? Because when everything Elohim make on the right hand came from him, right? So that's in the beginning. He goes to John 8:58. Yahawah said unto them, verily, verily, I said unto you, before Abraham was I am. They say God name is Ahia, right? God name is Ahia. But Ahia means I am in the Hebrew, right? So it says, Yahawah said unto them, verily, verily, I say unto you, before Abraham was I am. That was Yahawah right there. This is Mark 1:1. It says, the beginning of the gospel of Yahawah, the beginning of the gospel of Yahawahshi Mashiach, the Son of God, as is written in the prophets, behold, I send my messenger before thy face, which shall prepare thy way before thee. The voice of the one crying in the wilderness, prepare ye the way of the Most High. It's like of the Lord, make his path straight. So it's talking about Christ, Yahawahshi, right? It's talking about Yahawahshi. His way, in the path, his path was already prepared when before he even came on this New Testament, right? But we're gonna read Yahawahshi in the Old Testament. Now go to Psalms 118 and go to verse 16. Psalms 118 verse 16. This is the right hand of the Lord is exalted. The right hand of the Lord doeth violently, right? So don't that sound familiar, right? So remember, we go back to Hebrews 12 and 2. It says, fixing our eyes on Yahawahshi, the author and perfecter of faith, who for the joy set before him endured the cross, despising the shame, and has sat down at the right hand of the throne of Yahawah. Right? So when you read in Psalms 118 and 16, that's a clear indicator that Yahawahshi is on the right hand of the Most High. Right? Since the beginning. All right? And here's another cut. This is Psalms 110, right? We're going to start at verse 1. This is La'adawan, which is the Lord said unto my Lord, sit thou at my right hand until I make thy enemies thy footstool, right? So that's a third folk, right? And that's King David speaking. This is, the Lord shall send the rod of the strength out of Zion. Rule thou in the midst of thy enemies. Thy people shall be willing in that day of thy power. In the beauty of holiness, from the womb of the morning, thou hast the dew of thy youth. The Lord, because it's talking about Yahawahshi, have sworn and will not repent. Thou art a priest forever after the order of Melchizedek. And a lot of people say Yahawahshi also is Melchizedek, right? And I can get some precepts on that. I will, matter of fact. Let me finish this off though. The Lord, the one at the right hand, shall strike through kings in the day of his wrath. He shall judge among the heathen. He shall fill the places with the dead bodies. He shall wound the heads over many countries. He shall drink of the brook in the way thereof shall he lift up the head, right? So the Most High had it in King David's heart, all right, to prophesy about his great grandson, Yahawahshi, which is who the world ignorantly called Christ, sitting on the right hand of God in the Old Testament, ruling over the heathen nations, right? And bruising these nations up, beating these nations up, going to war with these nations, and knocking them down, right? And so, and like I said, the order of Melchizedek, right? He already was proclaiming that Yahawahshi going to be the high priest, the king all over Israel. All right, the savior, right? Let me get that for you, because like I said, a lot of people believe Melchizedek was Yahawahshi back then, and there was a plethora of reasons why. Why? This is Psalms 110 verse 4. The Lord has sworn and will not repent. Thou art a priest forever after the order of Melchizedek. Right? So now Hebrews 6 and 20. Rather the forerunner is for us entered, even Yahawahshi made a high priest forever after the order of Melchizedek, right? So that's Hebrews 6 and 20. Now check this out. This is Hebrews 7 and 1. For this Melchizedek, king of Salem, priest of the Most High God, who met Abraham returning from the slaughter of the kings and blessed him, right? So I'm giving you more information about Melchizedek, right? Because he's a priest of the Most High God, right? And he met with Abraham, and Abraham blessed him. And this is Hebrews 7 and 3. Without father, without mother, without descent, having neither beginning of days nor end of life, but made like unto the Son of God, abideth a priest continuously, right? Melchizedek was made like a son unto God, right? And then he don't have a beginning or end, right? He's always been there, right? And he's a high priest. Then it says, this is Genesis 14 and 18. And Melchizedek, king of Salem, brought forth bread and wine, and he was the priest of the Most High God, right? So who else brought forth bread and wine? When you go to Matthew 26 and 26, it says, and as they were eating, Yahawah took bread and blessed it and brake it and gave it to the disciples and said, take, eat, this is my body. And he took the cup and gave thanks and gave it to them, saying, drink ye all of it. For this is my blood of the New Testament, which is the shed for many for the remissions of sin. Right? So the bread and the wine was somebody for the body, and the wine was somebody for the blood. Bread, body, wine, blood. And for the remission of sin, right? For the New Testament and the remission of sin. And this is 1 Corinthians 11 and 26. For as often as ye eat this bread and drink this cup, ye shall do the Lord's death till he come. So we're supposed to always keep in remembrance, especially in Passover. When Passover come, that's on March 3rd, right? We take the bread in that wine, right? We got to remember Yahawahshi dying on the cross for us, just like when the Most High freed us out of Egypt during Passover, right? We got to remember these events. And this is going to be and that's going to be the beginning of the year, right? You got to remember Yahawahshi death until he come back. John 6 and 53. Then Yahawahshi said unto them, verily, verily, I say unto you, except you eat the flesh of the Son of Man and drink his blood, ye have no life in you. All right? So there's no life in you until you eat the flesh of Yahawahshi and drink his blood, which is eating of the bread and drinking of the wine. And Melchizedek already had the bread and the wine. Why? Right? And any elders or other Israelite scholars that feels different, let me know if I'm wrong, you feel me? And I'll humbly accept the teaching, right? But from right now, I agree that Melchizedek is Yahawahshi. All praises to the Most High, Yahawah Bahashim Yahawashi, right? So we like to say this a lot, right? The Most High, he's going to come a wrath. You know, America's going to be destroyed. All right, you got to understand these UFOs that America's talking about, these other nations talking about, it doesn't have little green men inside these so-called UFOs. Right? These are the chariots of the Most High, the chariots of God, right? There's an article that I just read today. All right. Well, actually, I just seen the headline. So I'm about to read it right now and get the information with you guys and have some precepts to go with it, right? So this is WHNT.com, right? This is 2 UFOs spotted in Washington Park. Lockheed Martin has an explanation, right? Huntsville, Alabama, WHNT, on Thursday, 2 UFOs landed in Washington Park to commemorate Engineers Week. Lockheed Martin in downtown Huntsville, Inc. Okay, so this is blasphemy. All right, salachya. This is up in the air article, voanews.com. Up in the air, U.S. President balloons and UFOs. FBI special agents assigned to the evidence response team processed material from high-altitude balloon recovered off the coast of South Carolina. The material was proceeded and transported to the FBI laboratory in Quantico, Virginia. 3 mystery objects shot down by the U.S. military this month again compelled government officials to tamp down speculations of extraterrestrial connections. Military and civilian sighting of unidentified flying objects have generated sensational headlines going back to the 1940s, repeatedly prompting reporters to ask government officials for explanations. House Intelligence Committee Chairman Representative Mike Turner told the Munch Security Conference, "I'm not going to release classified information in saying this. None of the objects shot over North America recently were Martians. President Joe Biden told a White House briefing the intelligence community current assessment is that these 3 objects were most likely balloons tied to private company recreation or research, insinuating studying weather or conducting other scientific research." Right? So right now they're having a debate if it was a so-called UFO or not, or if it was a device with a balloon that have devices to do research around the country, right? Which, and also I heard in certain articles that they feel like it was the Chinese, right? They trying to start war with China, they're trying to start war with the Chinese and keep provoking them to World War III pop off, right? This is Donald Trump acknowledged being briefed on the topic, saying, "We're watching for extraterrestrials." We're both stating that he did not particularly believe people who claimed to have seen UFOs, and also wondered out loud if they were real. Barack Obama told a late night talk show that he asked about aliens after taking office and was told the U.S. government was not keeping aliens in the lab. As some ufologists have claimed, Obama did confirm that there are objects in the sky that move in unexplainable manner. George W. Bush, who hate black people, like K.O.Y West said, told a late-night TV talk show that he would not reveal anything he had been told on the topic as a president, even to his curious daughter. Bill Clinton expressed interest in the phenomena, saying, hopefully I ain't butchered that word, saying, on a visit to Northern Ireland in 1996, if the United States Air Force did recover alien bodies, they didn't tell me about it either, and I want to know, right? And they got 2 other devil presidents giving their opinions about it. Decades later, I went through the interview. Some who claim they have seen what happened. Roswell, New Mexico has turned its UFO legacy into a tourist industry, right? So a lot of these people making mockery about the UFO, right? But the UFO actually does exist, right? This is NBCnews.com, all right? UFOs finally gone mainstream. The UFO community isn't thrilled, right? There's so many headlines about UFOs all over the world. Joe Biden in a deeply divided Washington, shooting down UFOs is scrambling partisan battle lines. So they think that they can shoot down a UFO. So what they're saying is they can shoot down the Most High and the angels, and that their technology is more advanced than the Most High's technology, right? That's what I'm getting from it, right? Because look, this is how you know it was in the scriptures, these so-called UFOs. Ezekiel 1:4, and I looked and beheld a whirlwind came out of the north, and a great cloud, and the fire enfolding itself, and a brightness was about it, and out of the midst thereof, as the color of amber out of the midst of the fire. So this Ezekiel describing a UFO, right? That's remind him of a whirlwind that comes out of the north, where the north, is even America, the land of the north, right? Job 37:9, and out of the south cometh the whirlwind, and cold out of the north, right? So even the south, the Most High gonna put his so-called UFOs to all the continents, right? He's gonna totally evade the entire earth. This 2 Kings 2:1, and it should come to pass when the Most High would take up Elijah into heaven by a whirlwind, that Elijah went with Elisha from Gilgal. So you gotta understand, Elijah was taken up to heaven in the whirlwind in the so-called UFO. He was beamed up, right? This is 2 Kings 2:11. And it came to pass as they still went on and talked, that behold, there appeared a chariot of fire and horses of fire, and parted them both asunder. And Elijah went up by a whirlwind into heaven. Heaven means the sky. So back then, how did a man go into the sky without planes and helicopters? It was UFOs. So how do planes and helicopters and jets are more advanced than UFOs? They're not, right? They're gonna have something called Project Blue Beam soon, right? Where they're gonna put illusions out there as there are UFOs being shot down by the military, but it's all gonna be lies, right? To deceive many, right? Like, that's what's gonna happen. Look, I got more precepts on these so-called UFOs, right? Because it's called chariots. Psalm 68:17, the chariots of God are 20,000, even thousands of angels. The Lord is among them, as in Sinai in the holy place, right? And then check this out, man. This is what our ancestors used to sing back in the day, right? A lot of y'all probably heard of it, a lot of y'all haven't, especially the so-called new generation. Now they got white people trying to sing it. So this is the Jubilee Singers. So that's one version. Let me get something more clear. But they're talking about the chariots taking our people home, right? It's B.B. King in 1959.
Swing low, sweet chariot, coming far to carry me home. Swing low, sweet chariot, coming far to carry me home. Well, I look
So that's talking about the chariots of the Most High taking our people home, right? Because it's gonna be an angry day of the Most High, right? So the next thing we're gonna read to you guys is the Willie Lynch letters, right? You can order this book off of Amazon. So we're gonna be on page 7. Page 7. Not gonna read everything, but I'm gonna read a lot. So this is page 7, December 25th, 1712. Gentlemen, I greet you here on the bank of the James River in the land of our Lord 1712. First, I shall thank you, the gentlemen of the colony of Virginia, for bringing me here. I am here to help you solve some of your problems with slaves. Your invitations reached me out of my modest plantation in the West Indies, where I have experimented with some of the newest and still the oldest methods for control of the slave. Ancient Romans would envy us if my program is implemented. As our boat sailed south on the James River, named for our illiterate king, whose version of the Bible we cherish, I saw enough to know that your problem is not unique. While Rome used cords of wood as crosses for standing human bodies along in highways in great numbers, you are here using the tree and the rope. On the occasion I caught the whiff of a dead slave hanging from a tree a couple miles back. You are not only losing valuable stock by hanging, you are having uprising slaves are running away. Your crops are sometimes left in the fields too long for maximum profit. You suffer occasional fires. Your animals are killed. So this is talking about the uprising of slaves, right? And they don't talk about all the real uprisings that happened in America, right? In slavery. You only got a few so-called uprisings that's been calculated, right? But this is in 1712, right? So remember that, right? Gentlemen, you know what your problems are. I do not need to elaborate. I am not here to enumerate your problems. I'm here to introduce you to a method of solving them. In my bag here, I have a foolproof method for controlling your black slaves. I continue every one of you that if installed correctly, it will control the slaves for at least 300 years, 2012. My method is simple. Any member of your family or your overseer can use it. Your family, which is, your children, the overseer would be a cop, right? I have outlined a number of different among the slaves and make the difference bigger. I use fear, distrust, and envy for control. He said, I use fear, distrust, and envy for control. These methods have worked on my modest plantations in the West Indies, and it will work throughout the South. Take this simple little list of differences and think about them. On top of my list is age, but it's there only because it starts with an A. The second is color or shade. There is intelligence, size, sex, size of plantations, and status on plantations, attitude of owners, whether the slaves live in the valley or on a hill. So they made a difference of attitudes and differences amongst the slaves, right? To make them jealous amongst each other, or they would polish each difference amongst each other to make another jealous. That's what they try to say. It says, whether the slaves live in the valley or in the hill, east, west, north, south, have fine hair, coarse hair, or is tall or short. Now that you have a list of differences, I shall give you an outline of action. But before that, I shall assure you that distrust is stronger than trust, and envy stronger than adulation, respect, or admiration. The black slaves, after receiving this indoctrination, because all this stuff is indoctrination, right? And you got to look at it today. You know, there's high class black folks, there's low class black folks, stay in the hood, stay in the suburbs, light skin versus dark skin, you know, blah, 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 right? So it says the black slaves, after receiving this indoctrination, should carry on and will become self-refueling and self-regenerating for hundreds of years, maybe thousands. Don't forget, you must pitch the old black male versus the young black male. That's OG versus the youngster. And the young black male against the old black male. The young male don't respect the OG. You must use the dark-skinned versus slaves. You must use the dark-skinned slaves versus the light-skinned slaves. And the light-skinned slaves versus the dark-skinned slaves. You must use the female versus the male, and the male versus the female. You must also have your white servants and overseers distrust all blacks, right? It is necessary that your slaves trust and depend on us. They must love, respect, and trust only us. Gentlemen, these kids are your keys to control them. Use them. Have your wives and children use them. Never miss an opportunity. If used intensely for 1 year, the slaves themselves will remain perpetually distrustful for each other. Thank you, gentlemen. Right? Excuse my brief pauses. It still surprises me when I read it now. Right? So, we're gonna get you something similar, right? Because all the stuff that they name on how they enslaved us was already in the Bible on what they was going to do to us. Right? All that was in the scriptures. You know, this is right. The passage tell you that the Old Testament is done away with. Right? And it's not. All right, so this is Deuteronomy 28 and 29. And thou shalt grope at noonday, as the blind gropeth in darkness, and thou shalt not prosper in thy ways. Thou shalt be only oppressed and spoiled evermore, and no man shall save thee. Right? That's Deuteronomy 28 and 29. This is verse 30. Thou shalt betroth a wife, and another man shall lie with her. Thou shalt build a house, and thou shalt not dwell therein. Thou shalt plant a vineyard, and shalt not gather the grapes thereof. Right? That's telling you what they was gonna do. You know, turn the male versus the female. That was a method by when they would sleep with our women, another man would betroth her. When they would sleep with our women, right, that would turn the male slave against the female enslaved, right? The male enslaved versus the female enslaved, right? The female enslaved would feel some type of way because she's not being protected. And then she will act a certain way, right? Because it been another man with more power inside of her, right? So that would cause the enslaved male, you feel me, to lash out as well, right? And then it'd be all type of conflict. They're using psychological tactics to get to us, right? And they do that now, right? This is why they show certain things on television. They treat us in certain ways in civilization, right? Because they're still making slaves out of our people, right? But now they're doing it in the masses, right? But our people are subjected to it more, all right, because of what we've been through, right? But all praise to the Most High, Yahawah Bahashim, Yahawahshi, Baruch. I hope you guys enjoyed the lesson, breaking down the wheat and the tares, the read along, right? And all the other breakdowns we did tonight. All praise to the Most High. Until the next spiritual insight, Shalom Baruch, y'all.